সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, বিরতির পর আপনাদের সবাইকে আবারও আমন্ত্রণ কমিউনিটি ম্যাটার্সে। আজকে আমরা কথা বলছি রোল অফ স্পোর্টস ইন ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি, এবং এই ব্যাপারে কথা বলার জন্য আমার সাথে উপস্থিত আছেন আমার হাতের ডান পাশে জনাব আফজাল আলী, তারপর উপস্থিত আছেন জনাব জিল্লু মান্নান, আমার হাতের বাম পাশে উপস্থিত আছেন জনাব রম রহমান, তারপরে উপস্থিত আছেন জনাব মালিক মজুমদার। থ্যাংক ইউ অল ফোর অফ ইউ ওয়ান্স again for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Today we are talking about role of sports in British Bangladeshi community, and on our first segment we were talking about golf particularly, and as you guys involved with golf, what motivated you. This segment we'll try to focus on particularly the stereotypes, in our society, the cultural barriers, the stereotypes, that doesn't actually help our young generation to get involved with sports. And sports can keep themselves, sports can keep an individual motivated, disciplined, and it helps their psychological and physical growth as well. So we'll talk about it. If I start with you, Mr. Afzal Ali, if you can tell us, what are the cultural and economic barriers to get involved with sports, particularly with golf and other sports as well. Particularly in our community, coming from ethnic minority, there are so many challenges. Once you live in a foreign country, even if you are born and brought up here, there are so many challenges. So if you can highlight those issues.
Well, mostly, as so ethnic minority communities, it's very difficult. You're a working class person, it's very difficult to have the spare finances to buy equipment, to play certain sports, Whereas golf is one of those, unfortunately. It is not a cheap sport because there's a huge outlay initially to buy equipment to play. But once you've got those, it is relatively cheap. The only time you pay effective money is basically when you go and play on a course. And most of the time, the fees for the courses are roughly a couple of packets worth of cigarettes, effectively. So it is not that expensive at all. And for ethnic minorities, people like us who are sort of born and brought up in urban areas, there are no golf courses around. We don't have uncles or big brothers who play golf to introduce us to the game. It's mostly friends down the park having a little kickabout or cricket. So for us, it's very difficult to get into golf in particular because we're not from that environment where there is golf involvement in our families or whatever. But now, with
location, upbringing,
absolutely, people have spread out. They've gone to the countryside.
Well.
Exactly, people have gone outside cities, where there are courses, a lot of courses. They've worked with people like Captain Rom, his colleagues. They play golf. You go and join them, just like me. We joined, people and watched. We thought, oh, that's quite nice. We'll try it. Obviously, there is a cultural barrier there as well, but nowadays there isn't that hindrance of nobody else plays in my family or whatever. I shouldn't do this or I can't go. But because you have friends,
stop people to
no,
get
exactly,
involved.
But because you have friends, you're mobile. You've got a little bit of resources. You can actually take part. So golf, it used to be, as you said, a very elitist sport, but it's not anymore. Effectively, working class people play all over the country.
Everyone should be able to access sports. If they want to. That's the main. Ethos behind any sports.
Absolutely, but for particularly golf, for ethnic minorities, it's quite difficult because, as you said, we're mostly from in urban areas, and you don't get golf courses there. But things have changed. People moved out of the cities. They've seen what other sports are out there, and it's not just football and cricket. And golf, is one of those sports. And hopefully, with UK BGS, we can bring that to the Bengali community in general throughout the country. Hopefully, and Bengali players who play. Bengali players who are thinking of playing, they can get into that sport because it is a very great sport, very sociable, reasonably healthy as well for you. All that fresh air, walking, it's great in that respect. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Zillu Manan, Mr. Afzal Ali, he mentioned that things have changed. Do you agree with that?
Definitely.
Yes, how things have changed?
This has changed quite few years back, actually, through football, I reckon, through sports. We broke that barrier from football. Now, football has the international language. Football and sports, it's an international language. If you mix in those sports, you get to know all other competitors who are not in the same race. You are in the same team. All of a sudden, you are playing together and you're like brothers. You get off the match and you shaking hands, giving hugs and then there you go. The relation bonds from there. So I think
sportsmanship,
yeah,
that sort of attitude.
Yes,
I think it also brings a lot of communities together.
It
Whether
does.
you're Bangladeshi, whether you're English, whether you're Indian and so on, it brings everyone together.
It does too.
So the diversity is there, but
Yeah.
then
Diversity
also at the
is
same
definitely
time, but there are opportunities to make friends.
Absolutely,
absolutely. Right.
And
it
golf is
bridges
amazing
the
for
gap
that.
between communities.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I actually play for a society in Surrey, okay, and I'm the only Bengali there. It's mainly an English, society, and obviously by going there, mixing with the English people, right, having playing golf, and having the dinner afterwards, breakfast in the morning, they get to know who I am, and they're my Facebook friends now. So when I go to the mosque or when I have these weddings, they can see all those things and they learn more about our culture.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great thing, So because obviously there's a lot of negative stereotypes at the moment in the media,
Absolutely.
and I think by mixing with the wider community, this is breaking that down. It's making it better for us. They get to know
I think
us.
most of the time media doesn't treat
No,
our
that's right,
community fairly the way it should treat,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's why the positive things do not normally come to media, rather the negative
Yes.
things are there. So particularly getting involved with sports,
Yeah.
once other community know your culture, who
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps to have some sort of positive attitude
Yep.
towards that.
I think
particular
each one of
community.
us is an ambassador for our community. Yeah,
absolutely.
And when we do that, so obviously, when I play with the guys in Surrey, they have charity dues and so on, and I participate in that. So they say, hey, these guys are good. What we see in the newspaper and media, that's not what I see from Rome. So I think that's important. Obviously, okay, we formed a UK Bengali society, golf society, but our aim is to then play against other societies, have competitions, mix and so on. So I think that's one of our aims as well, so that we can spread that, and the community spirit and integrate with other communities and other
Thank you.
people.
Thank you very much. I mean, he mentioned about aims and objectives of British Bangladeshi Golf Society. You yourself, you are involved with this society.
Absolutely.
Even you mentioned that your uncle, he is also involved with this society. So what are the aims and objectives of UK Bangladeshi Golf Society?
I mean, we all feel that our aims and objectives for the UK Bangladeshi Golf Society is to bring golf to the Bangladeshi masses, whether you're young, whether you're old, female or male. It's just to bring our community together, have a nice spirit together, have a social event together, and just bring everyone together really, have fun, play the sport of golf.
I mean, is there enough information out there so that someone wants to get involved with sports? I mean, is your organization doing enough to make itself accessible, available, when it comes to information?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel that the UK Bangladeshi Golf Society is doing enough at the moment. I mean, we've only been going for 2 months now. Exactly. Within the space of 2 months, we've got 50+ members. All from the Bangladeshi community, all
So
different
the membership
ages.
is growing up.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And
I think
all of
with
our
the help of-
information's on our website, by
Yes.
the
I
way.
see,
So
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Do you want to add any point?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
particularly about aims and objectives and whether UK Bangladeshi Golf Society is doing enough.
Yes.
Say
hopefully-
for example, one of the barrier you said that is that information.
Yeah.
Not too many people know
No.
that golf is no longer those billionaire sports. Rather, anyone can access it, and that's
and
the
we
main
like to-
ethos of a sports. But
Absolutely,
is your
and
organization doing enough?
UKBJS would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to
Thank you for
to,
coming
to go to the Bengali community and say, look, we're here. We would like to introduce golf. I'm sure, the Bengali people know about golf, but to actually introduce UKBJS to Bengali community, say, look, you can come and join us and actually participate. You can play golf with us. We can show you how to do certain things. Our whole objective.
We are here to help.
Exactly.
If
And as Malik said, we've only been going for a couple of months, but we're still working, on our organisation so that we can give the right, correct information to people who are interested, in particularly young generation. I mean, that's what our whole aim is. UKBGS, we want to get the young Bengalis, male or female, to come and participate, in golf, because so that it's not necessarily football or cricket there, it's golf as well, and hopefully the parents can push, not push, maybe the wrong word, but they can encourage, saying, look, well, you know, you should try this. First, it's healthy. You know, you're out there in the fresh air playing golf, walking and all that stuff. So, you know, that's
it
how
helps the young people, you know, the way other sports.
And also, it's a very social game. You know, you
Absolutely.
make friends.
Make new friends.
I mean, I didn't know these gentlemen here at all until a couple of months ago. You know, and
so I assume you guys are good friends now.
well,
Yeah,
absolutely.
very good.
Also,
Yeah.
thanks
I
to golf.
Thanks to golf.
From this point onwards, we will have, inshallah, so many viewers who will grow enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
From today, they will be talking about it, and
Absolutely.
then our next program, we will have so many calls, hopefully, inshallah.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
I mean,
And
one of the great things about the UK Bangladesh Golf Society, we don't just encourage established players, it's also for the non-established players, brand new beginners, because we will actually help them and train them as well.
so that they can grow up.
Absolutely,
They can grow up. And then, you know, particularly in Bangladesh, not in UK, in Bangladesh, more people are getting involved with golf nowadays, you know. So,
Absolutely.
do you guys have any plan to work in close partnership with Bangladesh? Because
Yes.
still, even now, golf is some sort of aristocracy in Bangladesh. Do you have any
Yes.
plan in near
Yes,
future to
we
work in close
definitely
partnership with
we def-
Bangladesh as well?
We definitely have, because what happened in Bangladesh, we have a star, Siddiqur Rahman.
We have a phone call. We'll
Yeah,
come back to you.
that,
Assalamu alaikum
inshallah.
caller, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম caller, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
Assalamu alaikum.
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
I'm really glad to see our Bangladeshi brothers getting involved in golf.
Yes.
It's not very common thing. But just wanted to say one thing, brother. These guys have been sitting there very patiently, and we all like to hear a bit more from them. So if you could give them a bit more time to answer your questions, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your call. Thank you very much. I will allow more time. As the
Because
gentleman
it's
said.
coming back.
It's sorry about that.
Yes.
The thing is, you know, golf is new to our society, so we're here to explain a bit more, give them a bit more information.
Absolutely. I mean,
Hopefully,
that's the main.
and with your help, with your exposure that you're giving
Absolutely.
us, you know, hopefully they will get in touch
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
inquire.
We
a
have
bit
one more call.
Okay.
We'll
Yes, definitely.
definitely come back to you. Assalamu alaikum caller, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন। কলার আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
Hello.
জি আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
Hello. My name is Kiri Jackson.
আপনি দয়া করে একটু, you know, if you can kindly move away from your television set
Okay.
for technical reason, please.
Okay. So my name is Kiri Jackson. I'm Julie Manan's niece, and I just
Assalamu
want to
alaikum
support him and his team with his golf.
Right.
And I just want to say I'm really proud of him and everything that he's done with his golfing. And I know that he really enjoys golf, and he's taken me and
Thank
my
you very
niece
much.
to
It's
golf.
my niece, Khadija.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
We're
Bless
also
you.
It's
very proud of
good to
him.
see. She, you know, she's very proud seeing her mama, you know,
Yeah.
talking about
Thank you very
golf.
much, Khadija. And we, inshallah, we will have us taking girls in our society, hopefully,
Absolutely.
inshallah.
Breaking that barrier.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yes. I mean, that's what we're here
Yep.
for.
Thank you, Khadija. Do you have any question? Do you have any particular question?
No, not really. Julie Manan, I just wanted to say, Uncle, when did you start your golfing passion?
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Inshallah.
much. When did you start?
Okay.
About, like I said, I started about 12 years ago.
Right.
It's kind of amazing how I started. I used to have a snooker hall. And that snooker hall, one gentleman came to my club and tried to sell me a set of clubs. At that point, I did no golf. Obviously, I used to watch it in news
We
and
have
also.
one more call, sorry.
Yeah, definitely, I'll come back. We'll come back to
Assalamu
that.
alaikum caller, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
মাতের সকাল আর একটা তুরে একটু দেরি
কলার আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন। Caller gone. Okay, if you can continue.
I was coming back to that question, how I started
Answering
golf.
your
Yeah,
niece,
my
yes.
niece. Yeah. Some gentleman came in that snooker hall and tried to sell me a bag club, the tool we use to play golf. I didn't know much about it, so I sort of denied him and I said, no, I don't want to buy this. He insisted me to buy it. Eventually, I gave him a little sum of money. I kept it. I kept it in my storeroom for some years. And then it was about to It was time when I wanted to throw it one day. I said, no, I'm going to go and see what, there's the reason for this bag. And I went to a golf course in Fairlop and I tried it and I really enjoyed it. And when I came home, I didn't only think the golf, how nice I felt, I also felt that I got some exercise in between. So I thought, hey.
You felt refreshed.
Yeah, I felt refreshed. And I went out in open air and so scenic. And I came home and I talked to my family. I said, hey, that's not bad, this sports. I'm going to try again. And I did, and I carried on, mashallah. I hope that I answered your question, my niece, Khadija.
Thank you very much. We will talk more about your involvement with golf and what's the role of sports for British Bangladeshi community. We need to go for a break. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আজকে কমিউনিটি ম্যাটারসে আমরা কথা বলছি রোল অফ স্পোর্টস ইন ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি। আমরা যাবো একটা বিরতিতে, আমাদের সাথেই থাকবেন।